with another edition of the Huge Pop Sports Broadcast. It's me. It's that MATT. Always riding with me is the Huge Pop himself, Scott.
What's up, man? What's going on, guys?
So, as you guys already know, or just heard, that nice little guitar riff inside that video package is brought to you by Husky Rhodes himself. Joe, thank you very much for doing that for us.
Absolutely, Joe.
I love it. I think it's just an absolute banger. Thank you again to Husky over on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you have social media, he can be found. Before we get started, there is something that I just want to throw this in. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine today.
Absolutely. Naysayers, shut your mouths. Stop.
Length. Let naysayers know.
Yes.
Let a naysayer know.
I loved it. I loved what Jim Harbaugh's dad said in the camera to the guys. It was so awesome.
So obviously we're going to be talking about that at some point today. Now let's go and just rapid fire into the regular season stuff that we're in right now. We'll briefly touch on the NBA, the NHL, NCAA basketball, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of what was the college football Final Four final game. And then, of course, we'll end the show with our NFL weekly picks and get into our hey, you know what? I didn't even do a tally, so I don't even know if you beat me.
I don't know.
So that's on me, and it's on both of us. But going on, PWZ, thanks for joining. I appreciate you for stopping in. But a little NBA basketball to start off because it's no one cares. We're just going to lead off the show with the stuff that no one really gives a damn about. Boston, the usual suspects, Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, they're all winning their division. Out west, you got Minnesota, the Clippers, and the Pelicans. Those are two names you haven't seen in a long while in basketball actually being good. So it's early yet, I guess. I mean, we're not to the All-Star break. Draymond Green hasn't punched another dude yet, so we're going to be okay. Meanwhile, the Pistons here in Detroit have 3 wins and 35 losses. So there's that. They play tonight. They play tonight at home. The CMU game. They play the Houston Rockets. So
let's touch on Draymond Green, man. There's big discussion down here. I'm in SEC country, so big discussion down here is Draymond Green. Should Draymond Green just be done with basketball? Can the Golden State Warriors bring him in, calm him down, or is this going to just continue to happen and he just needs to be done?
He's a Michigan dude. He's from Saginaw. He's from not too far from where I'm located. His aunt used to work with my wife. So he can be a good dude. Tom Izzo doesn't typically go out and recruit thugs. But as things have gone on, you've seen Draymond go from being that hard-nosed, just good, solid basketball player to a crossbeat. Like, he would fit on that Bad Boys team from the 80s.
Well, down here they were comparing him to the Dennis Rodmans of the 80s, but they said that Dennis Rodman had more control over his body and more control over what he was doing than Draymond Green will ever have. They're saying Draymond Green has just gone too far. There's no bringing him back.
I would compare him to and this, I do like Draymond Green. He's one of those rare Michigan State Spartans that I did like. He came through that era with the Tom Izzos when they were really good. I compared Draymond a lot to Ron Artest. Yeah. He can't get out of his own way. Right. And so, I mean, that's when it really that's where I'm at with Draymond. He got so much talent there. He plays aggressive defense. He knows how to rebound. He'd be a good role player if he would just know his role.
So before we go any further, I know that I just telling Matt before we went on air, and I want to tell everybody that's going to watch this later on. They can also catch this on Stackle Records. It's a internet radio, live 365. Our boy from PWZ podcast, he's got a radio station. I think he's going to give us the noon slot on that radio station. So I thank everybody. Thank Rick for offering that up to us. Just getting our name out there all over it. I think Connecticut is where we're going to be on that going forward as well. But yeah, Draymond Green, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, right now the Warriors are sitting at 17-20. They're probably going to miss the playoffs anyway. Yeah. So at this point, do you just say, you know what, Dre? We're going to trade you. We're probably going to trade you to the Pistons to get someone good.
But they were saying that his contract is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. After he won those Defensive Player of the Years and stuff, they gave him money. Like, they cashed him out. And it's like...
How do you recuperate that money? Because...
And no one's going to touch him. No one's going to want to trade for him.
No. Except for LeBron James might bring him over to L.A. or something like that. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. Good. Hope they lose. I mean, LeBron ain't much better. LeBron's sitting at 19-20. Right. Good for him.
That's right. So today, I guess it looks like NBA is celebrating honor of Martin Luther King Day. So
yeah, that's actually they'll play afternoon games, I believe, on Monday for that.
Yeah, so that's that.
Which is pretty cool. Again, we'll slide over to the National Hockey League. And nothing against the people who will watch regular season hockey. I can't get into it. Like, I'll follow my teams to make sure they're doing okay. Like Detroit, they're 20-16. They have 45 points. Boston is winning that division with 57 points. That Boston team, they remind me so much. Like, they're destroying everybody. Yeah. It's Boston, Florida, Toronto. Toronto's my number 2. What's going on, Raphael? Thanks for stopping in.
Hit that subscribe button, Raphael, on the YouTube channel. Let's grow this YouTube channel.
He's doing good things over on YouTube too. He does sports reviews and that kind of stuff.
What's going on, my guy? Thank you guys for coming in.
He does really good stuff. I saw his reaction to the game that I'm actually watching back there. A real football team, if you guys aren't paying attention, and the University of Michigan football team. My boys won it. Yes, go blue.
Go blue. Smart man, Raphael. Thank you for the sub, man. Thank you for the sub. I will definitely go and subscribe to your channel as well, man. Thank you so much.
He's a good dude. Do that right now. And anyway, back to the whole hockey thing. I can't watch regular season hockey. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, the games mean something because you got to win and everything. I get it. But to me, I think it really gets intense during playoff time.
Yeah.
And that's playoff hockey. There's nothing. The only thing I can compare it to is March Madness. If that's
fair.
It's just. I mean, I will. If I had to pick between the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs, I'm watching this. I'm watching
100%.
hockey every day. But it's cool to see some of the older logos and everything like that, kind of like trending towards the top again. Vancouver's back in the mix. Winnipeg, the Jets are back there. The New York Rangers are playoff bound, it looks like, and Boston Bruins. They're all winning their divisions, and they are playing tough hockey, tough old school hockey, and it's so cool to see like I said, like some of the teams that you used to see in there each year, and then they faded away, like the Wings have, and Wings are trying to battle into that. But it just seems like the Wings are in such a tough division that it's hard for them to even.
Absolutely. You got my Florida Panthers up here in number 2 behind Boston. Only 1 point behind Boston Bruins. So look out for my Florida Panthers. My Tampa Bay Lightning are right behind them, within 10 points of the Boston Bruins. So. I'm still a Red Wings fan. So this division to me, hell, I like the division. I mean, I'm a Boston Bruins to me is like nostalgia. They're like, that's it. That's hockey. And then that division is stacked.
That division, I mean, it's got Boston, Toronto's another team that is always good. Yeah. Montreal, Buffalo, Ottawa. I mean. Ottawa's kind of one of probably the youngest team. The Panthers and the Lightning are the 2 younger teams of that division.
Yes,
but yeah, like I said, I don't know a lot about hockey, but I know enough to know that Boston right now. Boston, they're just, I don't know. It's hard to describe. In my eyes, what they're going to do to teams.
Right.
They're going to waltz through this playoff. They are comparable to those, like the Golden State Warriors when they were just breezing through the playoffs. I don't think there's anyone that can go blows with them right now.
No. Absolutely not.
So the early season, the mid-season projection for me is Boston wins the whole friggin' thing. And we're another day closer. We're just a little shy. We're 2 days shy of a month away, so we're 32 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. And Wolfram, if you're out there listening, thank you again for stopping by and being a guest. We definitely want you back. And good luck in spring training, and hopefully you can lock down a roster spot in the big club or AAA. So we really can't talk about baseball for another month or so. There's a lot of stuff going on. You got Shohei going to be a Dodger. What's he going to do there? Then they just signed that other kid from Japan who's just an absolute beast. So, and he's a pitcher. They need another pitcher.
Right. Yeah.
So we can move into NCAA men's basketball. The rankings, top 10 again. Starting at 10, we have Illinois, who came off of a hot win last night against the Spartans.
They end up winning that because I
Yeah.
watched it. It was really close, man, that game. I was like, then I turned it off. So they end up beating Michigan State, huh?
State's having a down year, but going into Champaign is always tough to win, especially on seeing how good these kids from Illinois are.
And let's be honest, man. They barely lost to Purdue a couple days before that. So they're no joke.
Next up, number 9 is Boomer Sooner. Let's go, PJ. Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma. They're 13-1, and they moved up 2 spots to number 9.
Nice.
Since last Friday. Number 8, the Arizona Wildcats. They're coming in at 12-3. Next up, they're at number 8. Oh shoot, hold on. Where's mine?
UNC's at number 7.
UNC number 7. They're 11-3. They moved up a spot, and then the next 3 all stayed the same. You have Kentucky at 6, Tennessee at 5, University of Connecticut number 4, and then dropping a spot, Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Kansas 13-1, dropped to 1 from 2 to 3. Houston they switched spots at number 2 at 14-0, and the 14-1 Purdue Boilermakers still sitting at number 1. I am impressed with that Purdue team. That Purdue team is pretty goddamn good. They are. Oh shit! I didn't realize they lost to Nebraska. Their one loss came to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Wow, on the road.
So I'm confused here, bro, because they have a loss on the 1st of December to Northwestern. It looks like.
Who?
Purdue. I'm looking through their schedule.
So they're 14-1 on the AP Top 25.
They have them losing to Northwestern University 92-88 in overtime. So they have them losing to Nebraska. So they should be 14-2. So I don't know what's going on if I'm misreading this I'm on the ESPN app, so I don't know.
Oh, me too. That's where I'm at. Let me go. Okay, so they lost to Nebraska 88-72
a
couple days ago. December
1st. 92-88 in overtime.
Wow.
So, not sure.
Interesting. Wow.
I'm just going to point this out. I'm looking at, because the ESPN shows ticket prices for these games, right?
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, we could go to freaking Chrysler Arena or at Ann Arbor or whatever and get tickets for a Michigan game for like $25, $40. The next time they play, Indiana, tickets for that game at Indiana are $121.
Well, that's because it's Indiana, though. I mean, Indiana.
Then you go to Northwestern again, $125. Rutgers is $126. But then you play Michigan State, $226, man. These are money makers, man. So it's just crazy.
Well, I'll go and watch. If I want to watch college basketball, I work at a college. My CMU Chippewas. Let's talk about them right quick. I can't leave them out of this discussion because we have to have some sort of. They actually play tomorrow afternoon at 1:00 at 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. If you're not doing anything and you just want to watch some basketball, you'll see a decent Kent State team. They're at 8-7, and CMU's no slouch. They're at 7-8. They beat Eastern. They're on a 2-game win streak. They beat Ball State and Eastern last week.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're playing very well. They got a good group of kids. They just they figure out how to shoot themselves in the foot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but they're at they play tomorrow at 2 p.m. If it doesn't get snowed out, because we're supposed to get up to 17 inches of snow.
What?
Yeah.
Or the next when?
Between today and tomorrow afternoon.
17 inches, bro. Thank God. It's good to be in a Michigan Wolverine, but I could be a Michigan Wolverine down in Florida, so I'm liking that.
For
sure.
So now that we've discussed everything that is kind of floating, and we have a direction of where we're headed. We're headed almost to the second half of those seasons. This is where the things will get interesting, and we start watching for playoff purposes and everything. So, again, Michigan is your national champion, ladies and gentlemen. The University of Michigan Wolverines are our national champions. And all season long, our song that we have been singing as fans at the game has been the Killers' Mr. Brightside. And the scene for the kids who weren't able to travel to Houston to watch the game in person, they held a watch party at Chrysler Arena, and this is the final. This is what happened after the game. To me, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That kind of stuff, like at the University of Wisconsin, going into the fourth quarter, they do jump around by House of Pain. Mr. Brightside's our House of Pain. You know what I mean? You know, that, I don't know. To me, I love that. But, I mean, our team showed on Monday why we are the best team in the nation. You look at the last 5 games we played in the season. Went into Happy Valley, Penn State, beat them not throwing a pass in the second half. Next week we beat the Nuts from Ohio. I mean, we beat them. They didn't give us anything. We beat them. Beat Iowa, who is supposed to have one of the greatest defenses in the nation, one of the best defenses in the nation. Had no problems. Won our third consecutive Big Ten title. Went on to play Alabama, and nobody in the college in fandom had us winning that ball game except for us. 3 letters: B-E-T. #bet.
#bet.
We go into that game on Monday, and you knew from the first play of the game that it was over. Mm-hmm. We set the tone early. Those 2 runs by Donovan Edwards in the first half I knew it was done. Our defense played for 4 quarters. Michael Penix looked like a kid who was lost for all 4 quarters. He didn't look like he should have been out there. And I said this after we beat Alabama. We just played in the national championship game.
I will say this. We did right. We did, and I said this to some people down here, the SEC fans down here. We're gonna have to get the Penix like we did the Milrow, and we got the Milrow with no problem. And that's why, in my opinion, our offensive line and our offensive running backs, and and McCarthy and the tight end from Michigan, they put on a show against Alabama. But the key to that game, to be honest with you, was to rattle Milrow, and we did. We rattled him enough where he didn't know what the hell to do on that overtime drive. He was scared. And I don't know what Nick Saban was thinking. Why are you going to run it up a middle against a defensive line like that?
I went back and watched that overtime.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Milrow's fault, and I don't think that was a designed run to the middle. That was a poor snap. That was a poorly snapped ball. That center, my heart goes out to that kid, because I'm not saying he lost the game for him, but those 4 or 5 just horrible snaps that.
I see what you're saying, Matt, but Milrow looked panicked. He didn't know what to do. And it had to do with what the defense was. That center, he didn't know what to do. When you got these big dudes from Michigan sitting there after your throat, probably talking trash all game long, you got to believe that. And that center's he's probably going, oh, shit, we haven't seen this before. And that cost them the game. Same thing. Everybody down here goes, oh, the receivers fought for Washington. They dropped 2 passes. If you look at those 2 passes, I've seen one in the background. It was not there no more, but Penix dropped back and he overshot. And that kid could have caught that or could have kept up to that. He would have scored a touchdown and we wouldn't be talking about national championships, right? But Penix, because Michigan got to him early and often, he wasn't throwing like that Washington's conference seen him do all year long. He was rattled again. And I give credit to Michigan's defense also for that game. But, our offensive – we have so many offensive weapons. We had so many offensive weapons. Too bad that a lot of them are going away. Good luck in the NFL. But, we had a solid football game both games. And I wish people down here would shut their mouths and just give Michigan credit that they deserve.
I think Coach Harbaugh said it perfect after the game, that they played for each other.
Yep.
And they are hold on. He said it best when he goes, they played for each other and they're innocent. They're innocent. And he kept saying that. He said, I'm innocent. My coaching staff's innocent. All these young men that are in the locker room are innocent. Mm-hmm. Let's just move forward. Yep. And we're going to get to Nick Saban here in a few minutes, and I love this because it makes me feel better as a Michigan fan knowing that Harbaugh did say this. Someone asked him about Nick Saban. And this is before he retired. He goes, Nick had the last 12 years. The next 12 are mine.
That's cool.
So that makes me feel a little bit better, knowing that I think his heart really is in Ann Arbor. I don't think he wants to leave the program. I don't think his heart is, to me, his style doesn't fit in the NFL. He's not an NFL football coach, but he's as ready for the NFL as JJ McCarthy is. Memo to JJ: stay one more year. Trust me, you're not ready, because you even looked a little timid at times against Alabama and against Washington. You looked a little tense, and or maybe you didn't get long enough underneath the goalpost to meditate. I don't know. But fact of the matter is, I love JJ McCarthy as a quarterback. He's just not pro ready yet.
And like I think Jim Rome was saying, and maybe Stephen A was saying, that the class of running of quarterbacks that are going into the NFL, like Penix and like a couple other guys, they're even saying that teams would be stupid to waste the first top 10 picks on a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot more running backs and receivers that will go into will help people out, because right now you have basically the ones that are going in, even Penix. I don't see him going. I don't see him going in top 10. I really don't. I mean, especially now that he's banged up. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. But so one of my questions I'm going to have for you. You think Harbaugh's staying?
I think so.
What's your gut say about McCarthy? After I seen that video where he was up on the top of the building and the fans are saying one more year. Do you think he'll stay?
I think he almost has to. I think because he realizes he's not going to. The only way that I would leave, if JJ would have went out in the national championship and slung it for 350 some yards and 4 scores, then yeah. But he didn't. He really didn't sling the ball all that much in the second half of the season. Like when it came to the meat and potatoes of the Big Ten season, we ran the ball because we could. Like we beat teams on the ground, old school Michigan football. I just don't think that JJ's body doesn't translate quite yet. I think he needs one more year and let him show what he can do with his arm.
So have you seen any of the up-and-coming freshmen or up-and-coming transfer portals coming to Michigan? Do you think that, I know because you're losing Corum, obviously.
Well, we got Donovan Edwards.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's got one more year before he can go pro.
And you mentioned Donovan Edwards, and I said this to you a couple days ago. I'm going to say it again. Matty, we even pulled up the stats. I believe Matt pulled up the stats that day. I love Corum. Don't get me wrong. Corum all year long has been doing what he did best in the championship game. But I was thoroughly shocked when I heard the offensive player of the game. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Corum because he had 2 scores. He had 130 some yards. He had whatever. But Donovan Edwards had the same many touchdowns and 10 yards less rushing on half the carries of Blake Corum. Now, that doesn't mean – Blake, he moved the ball. They used him. He did block. He was in there more. So I guess that's where you figured, okay, yeah, give it to Blake Corum. But, man, you can't take it away from Donovan Edwards. He put up a hell of a show. And our safeties, it was just phenomenal. So Donovan Edwards come back. Is our tight end number 8, Loveland? Is he a senior?
He is I want to say he's a sophomore.
You think he's good enough to go pro, or did he announce it already?
He can't.
Oh, he can't.
You have to play 3 years.
I know number 0 went pro.
Stanistrel, yeah.
Stanistrel,
that guy. If as a Lions fan, that's who I want the Lions to pick.
Yeah.
I want him as a Lion next year.
Yeah.
I think Stanistrel would fit perfect with that group of defensive backs.
Yeah.
Donovan Edwards is a junior, so he technically could go pro.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. Let's see. Cornelius Johnson, we're losing him.
Yeah.
He's a receiver. Roman Wilson's gone.
Yep.
That Shamaj Morgan, he's that kid who fumbled that punt in the Alabama game, and he's got enough speed on him where he's going to be good. It's just he's only a freshman, I believe.
Freshman,
yeah, he's a freshman.
You
can't put that kind of pressure on a freshman, dude.
Right. Well, my thing with McCarthy and the people leaving, I see what you're saying. He is a little green still. He needs one more year under Jim, I think. But again, are they going to go out? Is he going to go out as a loser? I don't want his stocks to get worse because let's face it, the Big Ten now became the Big 20. There's like 19 teams in the Big Ten.
Oh, I'll get into that in a minute.
Ridiculous, but and that makes it enticing too for McCarthy to stay because now all these people at SEC and all these people down here saying that we don't play a good schedule. Look at our schedule next year, guys, and shut your mouths. But I just hope McCarthy can get a group of guys behind him and Coach Harbaugh and form a good enough team to be a competitor for the top, 12 teams now?
Yeah, you got to be the top 12 to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I believe Michigan has it to be there. I think they'll get it. They'll be there again. So get used to us, guys. We're going to be around.
So, as we know, we have Oregon, we have UCLA, we have USC and Cal, I think, are joining. Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Cal, I think.
Oregon, you said UCLA, Southern California, USC Trojans, Washington.
Oh, Washington. Okay, those are the 4 teams that are joining the Big Ten, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, Lincoln Riley needs to shut. He has diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain. The guy's an asshole. Lincoln Riley, he'll never hear this, but you're an asshole. You are an absolute ass hat as well. Saying USC is the Mona Lisa of college football. My Trojan loyalty runs thick and deep. That's one thing he said. And then they asked him what he expects to see in the Big Ten next year.
All right.
They're not used to West Coast speed. We're going to slap some barbecue sauce on those defenses and dog walk that conference.
That's why Michigan blew out Washington.
Okay. You're going to dog walk our conference. Okay, cool.
No.
You're an asshat.
Yep.
And then the last thing, this is the last one. They asked him about potentially because Lincoln Riley was in the talks to replace Nick Saban. He goes, no thanks. I'm taking my new conference to the Trojan Pound next season to get neutered.
Jesus.
Okay, Lincoln. I want you to look at your schedule. And I want you to circle September 21st on your schedule, Lincoln Riley. That's when you bring your little Trojans Little Trojans, definitely not Magnums. Little Trojans, little guys. Ann Arbor to play a real football team in Michigan. The reigning, defending, undisputed national football champions.
The way I look at it, when they come into the big house, they're already gonna have one loss. They're not gonna get past LSU.
Oh, they play LSU next year. Have fun with the.
I'm gonna predict their schedule. LSU loss. They'll win the other one because it's against I don't know. Michigan loss. Penn State loss. Washington loss. UCLA you might be able to beat, but you're gonna end the season with a loss. You're gonna have 6 losses, bros, from USC. So bring your dog walk. Yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I can't say that on TV. Whoops. It's ridiculous. First of all, you want to come to the Big Ten. Why? If I'm a Big Ten fan, which I am, this makes me proud because this should shut up the SEC. This should shut up the ACC. This should shut up everybody else. Now that we got all these teams that want to come, why? Because there's money in the Big Ten, because we're good. We got top tier guys. Shut up. Am I saying Michigan's going to go undefeated next year? I can't say that because they got some good games coming up next year. I'd be stupid to tell you that Michigan might go undefeated.
Now, I want to look at
look at we have
Fresno State, Texas,
yes,
Arkansas State, USC, Minnesota. We go to Seattle to play Washington. Have an off week. We go to Champaign. We're home for Michigan State, home for Oregon. Go to that sneaky team from Indiana. Come home for Northwestern. And then we got to go to the shoe to end the season.
Strength of schedule. That's it, right there.
You want to talk strength of schedule? If we drop one of those games, we'll be in the playoffs. I promise you that. But goddamn, I think if we drop one of those games, we should be at least a 3 seed.
Yeah. I'm curious about how that's going to work. I'm glad that we're out of the four playoff team thing. I'd like to see how it's going to work out.
Every game matters still. You have to win ball games.
It's interesting because we got a lot going on in the last couple days. The portal is getting flooded with people, which I think is a joke. Just saying that. And you got coaches dropping like flies, and who's going to be Nick Saban's replacement? Who's going to be, other replacements?
Now, you say that. Let's see what Stephen A. has to say about Alabama.
Y'all going to call me crazy, but I'm going to say it again. Primetime Deion Sanders. The reason why I feel that way is because I'm thinking about today's generation of players, catching the pulse of the players. I'm thinking about NIL. I'm thinking about the transfer portal, which obviously were things that Nick Saban had some degree of a problem with. And then I'm thinking about Deion Sanders. He's got the top-ranked transfer class right now. All right, this is the second year that he's pulled that off. And so when you look at it from that perspective, the ability to recruit talent, I think if you're going to replace the greatness of a Nick Saban, it starts and ends first and foremost with being able to recruit. And you can't tell me that for a big-time program like Alabama, somebody like Primetime goes there, that you ain't going to have athletes that will not follow.
I understand what he's saying. I really do. But for me, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He does not fit Alabama's culture. It's about culture. We talked when Michigan was going through their continuous cycle. After Lloyd Carr left, we had some real shitheads in there. We had Brady Hoke, we had Rich Rod, we had Brady Hoke. We went through two complete jackasses of a guy until we found our guy, our Michigan man. Like we have our guy, which is a Michigan man. Alabama fans, they know exactly where I'm going with this. You got to be a Bama guy. The only place in my eyes, the only place Deion Sanders can go and win a national championship and would be the guy is his home. And that home is Florida State. I think that he could win a national championship in Florida State because that's the mentality. That's his swagger. The Alabama culture is completely opposite. They're not flashy. They show up on Saturday, beat the shit out of you, and then go on to the next. That's how Bear Bryant did it. That's how every coach after Bear Bryant and now Nick Saban has done it. It's a culture. It is Alabama football. They always find their guy. Deion Primetime doesn't fit that mold. He's not the guy. Would he bring the guys with him? Yeah, but I don't think your guys in your the alumni and the boosters, I don't think they don't need that. They don't need a guy who started the season off setting the world on fire last year, won the first 4 games, and then lost the rest. They don't want to see that. He doesn't have the resume. Alabama's going to go get themselves a guy like Les Miles, a guy like Urban Meyer, a guy who is he's won a national championship. He's gotten his team to a conference championship. They're going to get their guy like that. They're not going to settle for Deion Sanders, who's not proven.
You can't use those words settle for, because to me, I see what you're saying. His coaching style is nowhere near what Nick Saban is. I get that. But to settle for, you can't say that, because I would think that'd be not a settle for, because now when you use the word settle for, you're putting Deion Sanders to like below the top 10 coaches, and that's how you. I mean, I don't know.
I don't view him in the top 25 coaches.
Man, I don't know.
You win your first 4 games, and you look like you're going to set the world on fire, and then.
But what they do
lose out.
What about the year before that, though? You're going to discredit that?
His Jacksonville State, a Division One.
Did he not turn that program around?
I could go there and coach and turn that program around.
I mean, I guess.
To me,
No, I just don't see how we could put.
He doesn't do it for me. Like, I really wanted him to succeed, because that would be fun. It would be Deion Sanders, but he didn't show me anything this year. He lost games that he should have won. He clearly preaches offense, because that defense couldn't stop freaking. He has more holes in his defense than a slice of Swiss cheese.
But now if you bring him into there to run the program, you got guys that are under Nick Saban that will be there, like the defensive coordinator. Unless those guys are bouncing too. I'm just saying, I don't think he might not be the perfect person. I've seen the coach from Ole Miss. I think he's in the topic of conversation of for going over there. I've seen that.
Cliff Klingberg, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's on there, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm a Deion guy because, like Matt just said, he's fun. I think, and I hate saying this, I will watch Alabama football if he's coaching. I'd want to see. I mean, I watch Alabama football down here anyways, but
Now, you bring up having Dion come in and and have all the people behind him, have the coordinators and everything. That would never happen because Dion's such an egomaniac that he's going to be like, nah, bro, I'm bringing my people in. He did that in Colorado.
I guess
he's too big of a head to say, but well, gosh, maybe I should.
I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, but I think if we look at Nick Saban's record going from beginning, he had some crappy ass years too.
Well, I mean, he coached at Michigan State before he came to Bama, so we can't hold that against him. Maybe that's why I didn't really like him when he was at Bama.
Maybe.
But Nick Saban, before we move on to the other coaches that are been relieved of their duties and whatnot, there's no question. There's one thing that I do agree with Stephen A. on. Nick Saban is the single greatest football coach of all time. Not just in the NCAA, but of college and pro. Right. There's nobody that can touch him. No. And just not. He's won 7 national titles, 6 of them at Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, I just looked it up. They got top 5 to replace him. Steve Sarkisian from Texas. Kalen DeBoer from Washington's head coach. Mike Vrabel from the Tennessee Titans.
No.
Dabo Swinney, Clemson. Dabo has ties in Alabama. To me, that would be a shit move on Dabo because
if Swinney bounces to go and play or go and coach Bama,
yeah, that
shows a lot about his character.
The 5th on the list is my man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't care because I'm not an Alabama fan, so I don't give a shit. But I thought it was interesting that Stephen A. Because of course Stephen A. is one of my favorite reporters, and he always has controversial stuff to talk about. And I knew that would be controversial. I knew that was get heat, and I get what you're saying, Matt. His style's not Alabama style, but my thing would be. You just lose your coach. When they lost their coach, Alabama lost recruits and they lost transfer people. I'm just saying Dion would bring that back, and Dion would bring names to the team. But names always don't win championships either. It's how you coach them, so I get that.
Now, there's one guy that they left off that short list that is, in my opinion, a dark horse to leave his post and go coach elsewhere. Is Marcus Freeman, the head coach for Notre Dame. Yeah. I could see him taking the next step and taking on that Alabama spot.
Right.
But so we lost Nick Saban in the college world. We lost Bill Belichick as the head football coach in New England. He retired. Pete Carroll is no longer coaching for Seattle. Mike Vrabel got fired from the Tennessee Titans. The coach from Atlanta spent 2 years there. Couldn't do anything with that. He's gone. Yeah, it's been crazy the last few days with the firings and the retirements and everything like that. It's going to be interesting to see who, like we said with Alabama, see what the Seahawks end up doing, what the Patriots end up doing. If Josh McDaniels come back, like does he come back and take over for Bill? I think Bill's staying on to do the GM stuff still. I think he's just stepping away from coaching, and that'll be interesting. But
ready to do our NFL picks?
Yeah, let's get into our wild card Saturday predictions. We got games on Saturday, Sunday, and then we got a Monday night game. The Dolphins, the 11-6 Dolphins travel to Arrowhead to take on the 11-6 Kansas City Chiefs in an absolute snowstorm. Like they're talking like game time temperatures. Maybe I can get a job.
There you go, Dad.
If you can catch the ball, or if you can touch it, you can catch it, right, Dad?
He'd have been all over that Washington guy.
Well, I mean, you got to be able to deliver a pass that actually can make it to your receiver too. So,
right. So, all right, I'm gonna keep track this time. I got this piece of paper. We're gonna see how we do.
Dolphins, Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 4-point favorite in that game. Game time temperature is projected to be -2.
Okay. Damn. NKC, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
It's hard to pick against P. Mahomes. I go Chiefs. They got to win.
You got Chiefs?
I got to take Chiefs.
I will put this out there. I'm going to take the Dolphins because Kelsey and Taylor Swift broke up. And so Kelsey's going to have a bad game. He's going to drop a pass in the end zone, and they're going to lose by.
You know what Kelsey's going to do? You know what? After that the breakup or whatever, he's just going to shake it off. He's going to go for 2 scores and win the ball game by 14.
All right. Oh, there you go.
You see what I did there? You see what I did?
He may be right, but I take the Dolphins just for the hell of it.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. There you go. I say the Dolphins still. The Fins.
Did they seriously break up?
Yeah. All over. It's all over the news. It's all over TikTok. Well, of course I'm saying TikTok, but
I can give a shit less. I can give a shit less of Taylor Swift.
So who's next?
You got Cleveland traveling to Houston. Cleveland's a 1.5-point favorite in that game. I gotta go with the road team in this one. Joe Flacco's going to get the job done. Let's go Cleveland.
I got Cleveland.
They win by a field goal.
I got Cleveland.
Next up, we got the Sunday games. We have the 1:00. The Steelers travel to Buffalo. Buffalo's 9.5-point favorite. Typically, in a playoff scenario, I would go Pittsburgh. Typically. But we're not talking typical. I want to win this damn thing. I'm going Buffalo.
No one's going to win. The game's going to be the first game. I'm going to Bills. I mean, that'd be dumb of me. And I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't stand the Pittsburgh Steelers for lots of reasons. One of them sitting right in front of me or beside me, so I would never root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, when they cheat to beat my Colts years ago, I'll just leave it at that.
Next up, we have the battle of the who gives a shit because I hate both teams. The Green Bay Power Buttons against those Dallas Cowgirls.
What you got?
Dallas got a 7-point favorite in that. Dallas has a 7-point favorite. I'm going to bet the line. Dallas wins at home.
Okay. I say this every freaking week, and I hated the fact that this came to this because I can't stand either team. My boss likes the Packers. JB likes the Cowboys. They're in Dallas. I get that. They cheat in Dallas. Well, hopefully that they're not going to be around. The rest won't be around to screw the Green Bay Packers over. Jordan Love, man.
Wow.
That boy's playing off his gourd. I would say, yeah, he's got those guys going just like Favre and Rodgers did. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow. The night game on Sunday is our Detroit Lions hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Detroit's the 3-point favorite in that. They're at home. Ford Field is going to be electric. Detroit wins by 10. I think Detroit shows Matt Stafford appreciation, dust him off after every hit, slap him on the ass and be like, "Here, try it again. I dare you." I think we win by 10.
Man, 10 points, huh? I'm going to go to Detroit Lions. Yeah, the house is going to be rocking and rolling. I get that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Stafford, Stafford's Stafford, man. He's good. He's one of those guys that you don't want to give the ball back with 40 seconds to go on the clock. You just don't. But I will pick the Detroit Lions, and they're going to win by 7. I don't think they're going to win by 10. I think it'll be a close game.
And then we head to the Monday night game. We have Philadelphia traveling to Tampa. Philly's a 3-point favorite in that ball game. The only time you'll ever hear me say this, Baker Mayfield's going to show out. Tampa by 7.
I love me some Baker Mayfield. Tampa by 10. So the key games, guys, the key games to watch for the Huge Pop Sports Talk Show are the KC and the Dolphins, and the Cowboys and Packers. So those are your games. Those are going to be the deciding factor of who wins this week. So there you go.
So we have 4 people in the chat. Thank you, all 4 of you, for showing up for this week's live show. We have Dad's watching. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Pops, for showing up, watching us. Appreciate it. Raphael, if you're still out there, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the sub. PWZ, I know we haven't always agreed on your horrible takes of wrestling, but that's a different time that's a different discussion for a different day. Appreciate you. Hey, and the show starts up again. Beyond the Mat season 3 is coming. The 2024 season is in the horizon, and we start off that in 12 days on the 24th of January. It's a Wednesday afternoon at 1:15, between 1 and 1:15. Got to iron out the details a little bit more on that. It'll be me so far. And Scott. I have a special mystery guest for the time being. We're going to keep it a little bit of a mystery. But we'll announce that in the next couple of weeks. Again, I want to say thank you to Husky Rhodes for making our intro music. It was amazing. Thank you so much, sir. You did a great job with it. As always, I thank you, Scott, for being my big brother and for doing this with me every Friday, and look forward to doing what we're going to be starting on Wednesday.
Absolutely. couple things from my point of view. First of all, I want to address Wednesday's show. I'm excited, and Friday's show. Thank you, Matt, it's good to be back with you 2 days a week instead of one. Can't wait for Wednesday's show. That's going to be awesome. Wednesday evenings are knockout show with a group of guys from the Knockout Entertainment from Florida here. Next Wednesday, we have the Cuban Assassin coming on from down in Florida from Knockout Entertainment. January 25th. Mark this on your calendar. It's going to be a good one. Barbara Goodish. If anybody doesn't know who that is on the wrestling scene, it is Bruiser Brody's wife. So we'll be talking to Bruiser Brody's wife coming up. Can't wait for that. Again, thank you, Dad, for watching. Thank you, all you other ones, for watching. PWZ, again, the radio station. Don't forget to check that out. Look for exciting things to come ahead. I can't wait for Wednesday now to get here because I can't wait for the special guest. Thank you again for all the fans out there that are watching. Thank you, like Matt said, I think earlier, Husky Rhodes, Joe Harris, whatever you want to call him. He did produce our music, and I'm so thankful for that. So I thank you guys for that. Again, Matt, thank you for being my little brother. I did share the story a couple nights ago of me power bombing you through the bed and you breaking my light fixture in my room, and I got my ass in trouble. But that's all right. Those are fun moments. So this is Huge Pop. That's the MD Double T.
And we'll see you next time.